Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Alan Young with HospitalityNet, and I'm here to essentially give you visibility into some breaking news. Apaleo and Hotelhero are joining forces to innovate and drive change within the hospitality industry. With us today is Uli Pillau from Apaleo and Florian Montag, previously from Hotelhero, now working alongside with Uli Pillau to make sure that everything works seamlessly from an integrations and visibility perspective. Our world is changing dramatically on a daily basis, as we all know, and we're hearing more and more about APIs being the panacea for connectivity as the property management systems and every facet of technology in hotel industry begins to flourish. I think Apaleo is looking at this a little bit differently from an API first perspective. And I think that's a really interesting way to look at a new landscape. What I would like to do then is bring in Uli first and foremost and say congratulations, Uli.
Thank you very much, Alan.
And welcome. And Florian, congratulations to you as well.
Hello, Alan. Thank you very much. Great to be here.
So let's get right into it. This is kind of like a live press release, so to speak. Mm-hmm. What was Apaleo's reasoning for this joining of forces, and where do you think the differentiators are going to lie in the future?
Yeah, I'll start, Alan, and thank you for inviting us today. So from our perspective, there were several main drivers to join forces between Apaleo and Hotelhero. And the first one was obviously the team. I mean, we are growing pretty quickly here in Munich. We've got over 30 people from 16 different nationalities, so a very diverse team. And we've always been and are looking for very talented people to join Apaleo and our community. And we've known Hotelhero, the founders, for quite a while, a number of years, when we were a mentor on the TechStar program where they started, and we followed them very closely. And what we saw there, what they created and founded with Hotelhero impressed us a lot. And at some point we said it would be the ideal team to join our group of founders, because keep in mind, Apaleo has not been founded by one or two people, but we've got over 10 co-founders to make this huge project happening. So we started some discussions with Florian and his co-founders. We liked each other. We knew each other before, obviously. And we said it would be kind of the best direction if both teams get together and continue developing the direction we have started with Apaleo in 2017.
And Florian, how about your perspective?
Yeah, thank you again, Alan. As Uli already said, so we are always in very close contact, as we are with Hotelhero marketplace in the hospitality tech space. So we talked to a lot of vendors, we talked to a lot of hoteliers, and we were always very impressed by what Apaleo was doing, and also had a good look behind the scenes, so to say. And when we then started off the conversations a couple months ago, we actually talked about other things first, and it was just, we have very similar visions from day one. So when we started with Hotelhero in 2017, my two co-founders, Thibaut Jans and Julien Schmidt, and myself out of Lausanne Hotel School, we wanted to really bridge the gap between hotels and tech vendors and help hotels to access the digital potential. And so we started off building this via our review platform, recommendation engine, and we also had some iterations along the way. We were in the Metro Techstars Accelerator, and now we just see it as the perfect next step, going the next level, being able to build an app store on top of that on the Apaleo platform, which already exists today and which we find very innovative, and really be able to make this even more seamless for hotels in the future. And so we're very excited about making this next move.
And so what Florian just said, Alan, is really the second main driver, because the visions of what we had in mind doing for the hoteliers and the tech companies was very similar. And when you look at what we are doing, we are saying all the innovation in hotel tech comes from the apps which are on our app store and from the community. And we have built the perfect platform to give the hoteliers the choice, the freedom of choice to do anything what they want, putting their tech stack together. And on the other side, any tech company, any app can go and develop against our platform or on top of our platform. And this vision comes very close to what the Hotelhero guys had in mind, offering the hoteliers the choice of looking at different apps and putting their tech stacks together. That just we have developed the technical platform for it.
It's awesome, and a really interesting way to look at how the industry is going to be moving in the future, for sure. One of the things that I think is really interesting is in our industry. Well, actually, I'll start off really quickly, Uli, just to let you know. I took my son to Munich 2 years ago. He's now 17 years old. He wants to move there, so I'm sure he'll be looking for a job in about 4 or 5 years. So just keep him in mind.
Okay.
But all of that being said, a lot of the people in our industry are looking at the property management system as possibly being dead. You know, it's like, what's the use of this, and will property management systems ever be able to respond to all of the requirements of the new guest and the technologies that are out there in order to power the new guest to like have a better experience? So what's your take on that?
I mean, I think for 20 or 30 years or even longer, PMS was the center of everything. And that was fine. We had with Fidelio and some other PMSs, really great innovation coming to the industries. But now when you look back at the past 10, 15 years, it has become a huge pain for the hoteliers. When you look at it, all the PMSs on the market have become big all-in-one systems. They try to push and sell their own components. They are not open to any third parties. So it has become a big beast, if you like. And when you look at it as it is today, PMS cannot be the answer anymore. All-in-one systems are dead and PMSs are dead from my perspective and our perspective. We really want to give the hoteliers the choice to say, I go somewhere, I use a platform, and then I put freely and online my tech stack together by selecting the best apps. And if you imagine, it works like an Apple platform on an iPhone. You select the apps you want to use. If you don't like an app, you exchange it against another app, or a new innovation comes onto the market. You can install it online and live without any hassle. So the old world of implementing or migrating PMSs, and by the way, the same counts for legacy PMSs as well for cloud PMSs. Cloud PMS have not brought any innovation other than bringing it into the cloud. That was all. But the concept remained the same. So we think that the open platform approach and idea is the only thing which really will change the industry.
And you have the same mindset, Florian?
I definitely think that nowadays, still today, the biggest hurdle for hotels is the lack of seamless integration. You cannot just say for a hotel, just buy a PMS, but you have to think about the whole tech stack. So it is important for a hotel to think about how do all the different tools work with one another. How is the data sent from one system to another via APIs? And therefore, I definitely agree that PMS is not anymore the centerpiece, but it's really much more making sure that the connectivity between these tools via an open platform is the heart of a hotel. And I think it's going also a step further nowadays. It's not just offering great interconnectivity, but also allowing the hotelier to change solutions seamlessly without having huge integration costs or having long periods, where you need to first get something going. Because as we saw with COVID, trends come from one day to another, and you need to be able to react to them. And therefore, I think it is very important that a hotel uses a flexible and open platform to be just more agile and therefore be better positioned for the future.
And Alan, let me just give you one more example, which a lot of people have experienced. Let's say you have a very old PMS and you want to migrate to a different PMS. The time it takes you to upgrade the PMS and all the interfaces and integrations and related systems and all the cost you have going with it, it's huge. People are used to wait 6 to 9 months for a PMS migration, and they spend whatever, 30, 50, 100,000 K upfront, professional services, training, installation, interface fees, just to get this going. this, from our perspective, is a thing of the past. It doesn't exist anymore today. You should be able, with open platforms and interconnectivity, to do a migration within days, and the professional services cost related with this should be zero. Why would you have to pay if you can do everything online and seamlessly?
100%, 100%. So back in the olden days, when I was chairman of the board of the Open Travel Alliance, we were trying to get to a world where there was something called a super PNR, a super passenger name record that everybody could get a hold of. And it was basically the underlying data for every traveler. And obviously people need to know that information. Today, with personalization and recommendations, and everybody wanting a piece of the pie, so to speak, related to understanding the guest and knowing who they are, where they come from, what they do, when they do it. The advancement of what you're talking about, building this ecosystem or broad landscape of APIs in order to interconnect multiple different systems, multiple different platforms, even apps. Do you think that you'll be able to bridge the gap and get the industry to the level where we truly understand the guest?
So we see it as our task to build the platform, the underlying platform, which is very scalable. You can exchange any type of data. It should be very secure. So we have annual audits, PCI, and whatsoever going on to make sure that there is highest security and it's really scalable. Our task is not to build the apps that run on top of that platform, but what we do allow is to any company or any software coming onto the market to use the data and the openness of the platform to work with that data. And that means we already see some initiatives in that area, which you just mentioned, ongoing, coming from different companies, new software innovation that are exactly doing that. And so I would say yes, because the data can be inter-exchanged between different apps and our platform, and we can then, depending on the security, hand it out to third parties, which can continue working with the combined data. So yes, we think it could be a solution, but to be honest with you, this is one of the areas where the industry is lacking most behind other verticals. We've seen lots of verticals where e-commerce is being used completely different than it is in hospitality industry today. But we just feel that the openness of the data and the platform can help resolving that issue in the future.
Great. So this is a question for the both of you. You know, we've been through a pretty interesting 18 months, if not longer, depending upon where you're from. And if anything, we realize that the future can be somewhat uncertain. But that being said, where do you think the industry is headed over the next 12 to 24 months? And this is definitely a question for the two of you.
Yeah. So we see, obviously, as you say, a lot of changes in the industry. And one of the biggest things, we see a lot of new innovative accommodation companies. And I don't call them hotels because sometimes they are hotels or hotel groups, sometimes they are not, but they are all related to accommodation. So we see a lot of dynamic changes in accommodation business going on. And this is also one of the reasons why we are there. We want to allow the hoteliers to react very dynamically to the changes in the market and be able to use software and apps and technology in a different way, reacting much faster. So if you want to change traditional or legacy systems, it's just takes too long to react to what's going on and happening in the market. So that's one of the reasons why we see a lot of these innovative tech companies, tech accommodation companies, to be so successful even during COVID times, because they use technology in a completely different way than traditional hotels and traditional hotel groups. And we see a lot of these old players that are not agile enough running into big trouble with their traditional hotel models because they just can't be as fast as the new players on the market can be. And these new players actually are putting their tech stacks together in a different way, but a lot of them also have development resources in-house. So if they want to realize new innovative accommodation concepts, they are actually also doing their own app developments on top of the platform. And that could be a game changer in the future as well.
Yeah, and I would definitely agree with Uli there. So there's, especially in this commercial living aspect. There's a lot of new innovation coming, and where it's really businesses who focus on kind of the new Airbnb traveler who was started a couple of years ago with wanting to have just a nice room to sleep in, have good internet, but now maybe expect a bit more quality, and therefore they professionalize it. And there you need to offer really good digital guest experience. And it's really important if you, for example, have staffless hotels and you offer a digital guest experience, that it's bulletproof. There cannot be any problems or somebody having to add some data at some point or not, because this will then not work. So I think there's going to be much more innovation on that space. But furthermore, also the normal hoteliers who've been traditional hoteliers or ones who are adapting now with the new trends, with guests expecting more digital experiences also in the normal 4-star hotels, so to say.
I think we have lost Florian. Can you still hear me, Alan?
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I think that there it is important for them to be able to unlock the digital potential they have. It doesn't mean offering a digital guest experience or automating a lot of behind the scenes back office processes that the hotel has to run completely different. But I think manual data entry or these kind of elements, or having always staff there, even when you only have 20 to 30% occupancies during low demand because of, for example, COVID, this will need to be solved. And I think that open platforms or the open platform from Apaleo can be the solution for this. And this is why we're actually making this change now and this move here, so that we can really meet all the demand from the accommodation providers.
That's awesome. Well, Uli, Florian, this is great news for the two of you. Congratulations. I look forward to seeing you in the news in the future. And thank you once again for joining us at Hospitality Net.
Thank you very much, Alan. We'll talk soon again. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.